Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. So this is Neighborhood Spider-Man new series just dropped on Disney Plus. 2 episode premiere. It's okay, I guess. So from what I've gathered, this is a alternate universe version of Homecoming. I want to say. So it says here on CBM.com, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And the first episode is called Amazing Fantasy. It says a new take on Homecoming. So it opens up very strange animation, and no pun intended. It's another dumb origin story again, and before Peter gets bit by a spider who that emerges from a wormhole in the sky or something. See Doctor Strange fighting this dimensional monster or something. It's again, it's like, what the hell? Like of all the things, of all the ways you could start off a new series, like what the hell? It was one of the strangest things I've ever seen in the Spider-Man cartoon. This feels like it was in the middle, like it could have been the middle of a series, but this is really how it opens. And so Peter steps in to save some lady. He throws a brick at the monster, and then Strange has to save him. And then the spider drops from a wormhole and bites him on the neck, and he passes out. And he skipped like several months, and then he already has his costume in the middle of these. So it's like they're filling in the gaps of the Homecoming film from the MCU, but at the same time doing a different twist on it for some reason. So I don't understand. I guess I like the theme song in the beginning. It's very catchy. Uh, Harry Osborn's design is awful, absolutely awful. The animation I thought was kind of weird. Uh, Animation I thought was kind of weird. It's I like the style of the comic book panels and whatnot, but I don't know. It took me a while for my eyes to adjust to this new animation style I've never really seen that much of before. I mean, when we talk about Spider-Man history, like there's some games that have had a animated style to it, like Ultimate Spider-Man or Web of Shadows. In Spider-Man games, not so much, but yeah, this animation style takes a little bit to adjust to. My eyes are still hurting from looking at it. It's like I'm always down for our new Spider-Man series, but for the love of goodness, can we get away from the damn origin story? It's like there's been a problem with a lot of Marvel, the Spider-Man comics, that these writers they just don't want Peter to grow up. They think he's freaking Peter Pan or something, and we always have him stuck in this little wormhole, or he's either in high school or like in the original comics, he is 18 and he's about to graduate from high school. We really haven't gotten that much of that. It's not in the MCU because I don't even know if he graduated in the MCU. So again, the episode opens up with Doctor Strange saving Midtown High. He emerges from a wormhole to stop this monster that must have escaped from another dimension or something. So I'm not entirely sure where that came from, but you see a lot of clips from Homecoming, like the car he stops and get hit by a bus when Tony Stark showed him the footage. They use a lot of recycled footage from the movies, except this time Norman Osborn is going to be his mentor for some reason. And the second episode ends with Norman Osborn saying that, "Hey, you're Spider-Man." He shows him footage of him changing into a suit in the hallway. Must have been an Oscorp. No way we would have gotten footage. But based on the trailers, it looks like Osborn is going to give him the Future Foundation suit, I guess. And I'm like, okay, first off, it's way too early for that. Especially since this is clearly an origin story. It's way too early for Future Foundation. And number two, in the comics, Johnny Storm gives him the Future Foundation suit. It was his dying wish for Peter to join Fantastic Four. And so he gave him the Future Foundation suit. Yeah, I don't like the idea of Norman Osborn giving him a Spider-Man suit. Just to me, I just don't like it. I'm not crazy about the animation for this show so far. It's weird. Makes my eyes hurt. First episode ends with Norman Osborn at Peter's apartment, just like the scene from Homecoming where Peter is walking to his apartment and sees Tony Stark. Except this time she is Norman Osborn. And they use a lot, again, they use a lot of the same dialogue and whatnot, which is why I'm shocked this is not set in the MCU, because it kind of feels like it is. Maybe that was the point. I don't know. But it's a very strange show so far, I think. I think the Harry Osborn design is terrible. They got Lonnie Lincoln, who was Tombstone in the comics, as an African American kid, goes to Pierce High School. I can guarantee they're going to do that stupid origin thing where the villain is sympathetic, you know, Tombstone is a crazy, indestructible dude with a skin disease or something, if I remember correctly. But in this version, he and Peter are going to be friends, and then it's going to be tragic when it becomes crazy, right? They take a lot of cues with the design of Peter in this. They take a lot of cues from the early 60s comics, which is what the design is based on. I just don't like the animation. That's the only thing I don't like. Like him swinging from through the panels and whatnot between scenes is cool. Like it reminds me of the Ultimate Spider-Man game from back in the day. That's cool. But animation, I think, should have been closer to Spectacular Spider-Man, or even the last Spider-Man show that was on Disney Plus. Now just called Marvel Spider-Man. This animation just, yeah, could have been better, I guess. Not particularly crazy about it. I don't know if anyone really cared about spoilers. This is seems like it's going to be a controversial show. I've seen enough that I would definitely tune in on a weekly basis just to see where it goes. I like the theme song and opening credits. Peter seems like Peter that we probably should have gotten in the MCU instead of crying over Tony Stark all the time. At least in this version, it doesn't seem like he needs anyone to hold his hand, which is my problem with the MCU Spider-Man. Either crying about Tony Stark or, oh my god, I don't know what to do. So what should I do, Mr. Stark? So it's two episode premiere. Looks like it drops on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, which is good for me. Day off. I'll definitely see if I can tune in on a weekly basis for the most part for brief purposes. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I actually like the Norman Osborn design for this. I think it makes more sense for an African American version of this, especially with the hairstyle. It never made sense in the 90s why Harry and Norman had that wavy hair thing going on back in the day. Never made any sense. So I think this makes more sense. Harry Osborn's design is awful. Uh, Harry Osborn's design is absolutely dreadful. Lion Lincoln, I don't know why he's here. And they had another obscure villain in the show for some reason. Would have been cool to see like Trapster or something, someone more like a D-list or like an early version of Spider-Man. But he mentioned Trapster in the Sonic Universe games, so I was always wanted to see like the Enforcers, Trapster, D-list villains. I'm getting a little tired of like goblins and lizards because oh yeah, we got a female Connors, Carla Connors or something. We got a female lizard on the way because she has one arm and she's a doctor at hospital or something. So we got an alternate universe lizard. I could have sworn one of those teachers said his name was Warmer or something like a jackal. So we might get that. Lonnie Lincoln goes to high school with Peter Parker, which is stupid. It's like Clark Kent and Lex Luthor being friends in Smallville. I mean, even though that was its own thing. For this, I'm not sure it's going to work. It depends on how many seasons the show gets. If this gets renewed, I can see that working. But if this gets renewed, I can see it working. But as it stands, see how the ratings do because I think it's okay. It's not the best show I've seen, but it's not the worst either. Definitely had its moments for me. And I don't like Norman Osborn being his mentor. I think it's clearly it's not the Goblin yet. So there's that, I suppose. But yeah, no, this because it's probably gonna give him the Future Foundation suit the next episode. We're already two episodes in. What I assume was an origin story, which Future Foundation isn't even exist for years down the line. Again, Johnny Storm gives him the Future Foundation suit. It's not something that Norman Osborn makes or even Tony Stark. It was literally Johnny Storm's dying wish for Peter to become a member of the Fantastic Four. Because they were friends, he honored his wish and became a member of the Fantastic Four. Temporary. But yeah, I don't like Norman Osborn being his mentor. I think that's kind of dumb. Again, this is clearly not in the MCU, which looks like it's an alternate universe of the MCU. Which again, I'm getting a little tired of multiverse stuff. I'm wondering why I didn't bother putting this in the What If series instead. Because I don't know, I think it's a little late to be introducing Norman Osborn. Since he fought Norman Osborn in the movies, that wasn't his Osborn, but now he's got an Osborn now, I guess. Or however that works. It's making my head hurt just thinking about it. Like, so he fought Norman Osborn from the multiverse that wasn't his Osborn, murdered his Aunt May because he was stupid enough to invite his crazy people into his apartment like a dumbass. Didn't know anything about these crazy people. Knows they're all crazy from alternate universes, but hey, come to my apartment and Let me try and cure you without any consequences. Stu- So if this is not in the MCU, then I guess it's okay. But I'm still a little confused with the setting with this. It's uh, it's confusing to me. Um, but I'll definitely tune in on a weekly basis for review purposes. Spider-Man show, so we'll see where it goes. I don't see Mary Jane in this at all. Or Gwen. No, Mary Jane to me is a red flag for a Spider-Man show. Because the last Spider-Man show on Disney Plus didn't have Mary Jane either. Ultimate Spider-Man had her, but she had this gross-looking unibrow thing going on. It was one of the worst designs I've ever seen for a Mary Jane. So that's absolutely perfect in Spectacular Spider-Man. And then that show got canceled for Ultimate. Something I'll never understand. Still don't understand to this day. But it's okay. I mean, if you want to check it out, check it out. If not, don't bother. But I would say go in with an open mind because some things are probably going to make you scratch your head like, why is that going? Just remember, it's probably not in the MCU. I think I read an article that said that the showrunner then confirmed that it's not in the MCU. It's still decent enough, but man, it's good enough. I don't really see that many problems with it so far. Um, Again, my only real problem is the origin thing again. I mean, you mentioned the spider in Homecoming, and then no, there's no Genki in this discount Genki in this. City got a best friend with a chick named Nico or something who clearly has a crush on him, and I know how that's gonna go. The way it always goes. And he's got a crush on some muscular looking broad named Pearl. Looks like a dude. So I don't know what message they're trying to send with that, but it's quite amusing to see. Doctor Strange has a brief appearance in this. I guess it is again with Marvel Comics, everybody's in New York City, so you're going to have crossovers more often than DC Comics. So I had no problem with Doctor Strange showing up in the beginning. That's fine. I don't like the fact that Peter did not have his abilities in the beginning. I think we need to get away from the origin story. Like seriously, get away from the origin story. Seriously. It's like I always do predictions, but I'm gonna take a wild guess that Peter will have a future Foundation suit at some point in the next episode. Which I don't like. I don't like the idea of that. I think it's way too early for that. Um, but other than that, it's not a bad opening for a new show. Yeah, just I don't like the animation. That's really my only gripe with it. I don't like the animation. I don't like Harry Osborn's design. I don't like that we're still doing origin stories after all this time. I don't like Harry's design. I don't like that Lion Lincoln is going to Peter's high school. Tombstone, for those that don't know in the comics. He's not African American in the comics. He has a skin disease. That's why his skin is pale. Like, what are we doing here, Marvel? It's no wonder they said it's outside the MCU. They probably want to do a bunch of weird modern crap in this. sit through it for review purposes, but yeah, it's okay. That's all I can say, really. It's okay. Like, take it or leave it as far as I'm concerned.